Welcome to a very special episode 10, Cold Hard Trash. I'm your host, Trashcan Jones.
And I'm Breeeeeeg.
Thank you for tuning in with us. I actually have a little bit more to go over of that adult scared straight. I wasn't fully finished with that idea. We squeezed it in at the end. It needs... I think we don't, say, aha, like the judge tells them that. The judge tells them, I gotcha. Like, you get, the cops come, they arrest you, you get thrown in jail, you're put next to a guy that's real scary and is threatening you.
We're going to have to embezzle a lot of, charity money to make this happen.
It's a high production value.
We got to get a fake.
No, that's real jail. You throw them in real... Why make a fake jail? Throw them in real jail. We'll just partner with the cops. Say, they need some image reputation right now. They need to up their image.
That won't.
Them having a good
That'll
hee-haw.
down their image.
They're having a good hee-haw with the people. They're going to be some of the guys in the courtroom like, remember when I handcuffed you? Remember when I beat you a couple times to make it look convincing? They're going to be in there having a good laugh with the joke, so it'll probably be a positive for them. But it's going to be a big production, but it's going to pay off, they're sitting in jail for a few days. Imagine how much reality show content we get of just filming them while, sitting next to their scary prison roommate. There's so much comedy they could go in there. They think they're going to go to jail for life. They think this prison roommate might kill them. And then just, everybody at home is just going along with the fun.
Yeah. Everyone will sign off on this.
Yeah, I think I've taken this joke far enough.
We'll get the judge and everyone. They'll all happily be a part of this production.
Yeah, this is an easy sell. I mean, it's like you said, it's for some of those people that just need the wake up.
Yeah.
The craziest sell I could have ever imagined. Have you ever heard of the game show Solitary? So it was a game show / reality show where 8 people would be put in this octagonal pod, like a 3 foot by 3 foot pod. Or I guess 3 foot by whatever the area was, and it's 10 feet tall. And every day they the bed would come out of the wall and they'd be able to sleep in that. The toilet would open so they could just use that whenever, and they would just Okay, back from the audio problems. Anyway, this game show Solitary, they're in these pods, and every day they're waking up getting greeted by just a computer screen, and I don't think it's an AI voice because it's the early 2000s, so it's probably just someone with a synthesizer, and basically just telling them to do different psychological challenges. That's the whole methodology of it, is you're in this pod for X amount of months. However long the game show lasts, because everybody gets eliminated, each week. So it's however long you get to last in the game show is however long you're stuck in there. So the better you're doing, the more fucking torture you're going through, and the torture gets insane. It goes from not really. I guess I would call it tame, mixing cocktails, to where one person makes a cocktail of soy sauce, milk, and whatever, all these different things in front of them, make the grossest thing. If you can stomach it, everybody else has to drink it. That type of thing. So that's what it starts out as. But in the end of it, the last one is all right, we're gonna give you 10 chains that are all connected by different points, and you have to lay on them for a minute or whatever. And then after that, we remove a chain. And then you gotta lay on it for another minute. And then after that, we remove another chain, to where eventually they're just hanging on 2 chains, trying to lay down there for 5-10 minutes. Because after you run out of the 2 chains, you just increase the time. And these 2 guys are literally just laying on chains, is their bodies bruised and red. And it's the most scary thing to watch in the world of this is a game show. These people are just crying and screaming the whole time.
Maybe, I guess there is a market for this. I mean, they also have Fear Factor, which sounds tamer than this.
Yeah, no, Solitary was absolutely nuts. It was one of my favorite game shows, because I am a psychology major, so,
Yeah, watching people just be in extreme distress.
It's a little psychological experiment. It's fucking, what was that one, the Stanford Prison Experiment, basically. But, for a game show, just for fun.
I mean... I don't know how much merit I would give it in psychological research.
It's not I didn't watch it for psychological research purposes. It's just very interesting as someone who's interested in psychology to be wow, these people, the lengths they're willing to go to, the things they're willing to do, the way they act, talk about the other people that they have never met or seen and things like that. It's wild. Because normally with reality shows, it's the interaction between the people is what makes the reality show, but this is the interaction of people with themselves, which is even wilder.
Yeah, we need to set up an actual robot to do this, and then hopefully one season of it, we just sort of deal with the apocalypse, but they're all fine, and maybe we'll get some like really cool media. After the world ends and they're just stuck in there for all eternity.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
cool. Getting told to do shitty things by a robot.
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be like a dystopian Wall-E. Like everybody leaves, but then like the only people left on Earth are just doing that, just for our amusement. People getting rounded up and thrown into the pods.
Oh man. It's like the vaults from Fallout, except they didn't sell them like that.
Right, this is just pure.
I remember seeing the ones where it was like, Vault 82. It's 10 men, 10 women, 1 tiger.
Yeah, 1 panther specifically. Yeah, no. And then it's like that was one of the ones that I think it was mentioned in like the comic series. It was never actually in the games, but it was just mentioned. It's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
There's crazy ones where they just they tried to make like super soldiers by playing frequencies to people while they slept, and they just like played frequencies over this PA system the whole time, and they eventually found out that it worked. And then they realized that they've just been playing these frequencies the whole time, and then they turned everybody into super soldiers on accident, and then everybody rebelled and started like killing each other because they all just went crazy, and they were now super soldiers. So it's
was it because of the frequency, or were they gonna transform anyways?
No, it was because of the frequency. That was the thing. Like, we did it, and then they did it to everybody, and realized like, we can't control everybody now that they're turned, and then they just went nuts.
Well, I mean. Wonder what that frequency is, Could probably just be a song.
Yeah, could be. Could be like that brown note, the one frequency that makes you poop. It's just Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. It's what makes you turn into super
exactly. Yeah, you just fucking play that big Limp Bizkit thing all night, every night, for years. And then, lo and behold, someone goes insane and starts breaking shit.
It just keeps us on repeat. Just keep playing it.
We did it, folks. Scientists shaking hands.
Scientists shaking hands. Give them a helmet and send them out against in the desert. Just fueled up on Limp Bizkit and energy drinks. One more in-depth topic that I didn't get to talk about last time was the idea of procedural generation in video games. Just off the bat, are you yay or nay to these things? Because they can be argued that it kind of plays into the copy-paste era of games, to where you don't really have to try as hard. But at the same time, we've said for a lot of different things, it's a very popular tool, very important tool for a lot of things.
I think it's not as much good as bad as it imparts a flavor to the game.
Okay.
Is your game meant to present you with an infinite amount of challenges? You could, that's the whole thing with the procedural generation.
Right. For Binding of Isaac, different dungeon crawlers that need those constant replayability.
Mm-hmm. Do they want to prevent you from being able to prepare fully for something? Pikmin 2, the caves. A good portion of them had procedurally generated maps for those layouts. So you couldn't go in there and then close the game and then go back in and then get the same exact layout. You could do that and it would save your game and then you'd start on the same level, but it'd be a different one. It'd be randomly generated.
Right,
again.
it'd be different once you go in. It's just that's when the cave gets made.
Yeah, have most of the same shit. Well, you'd be on the same level of the cave and everything. You'd be in a 5 level cave and you'd be on the 3rd level. You fucked up, you quit, you'd go back in, and then it's a different level for the 3rd level.
Oh, wow.
So
that's actually, it changes when you load back in. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, so you can't memorize any of this stuff. You can't. You're required to explore. You're required to survey the area and do all your shit in one go. You can't take 2 goes at that. So it's a limiter in that sense.
Yeah.
But I have heard people say that the caves are a bit boring because of it. But it's supposed to be a little bit it's supposed to be hard to understand what exactly you're getting into beforehand.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess especially in the terms of caves, real world caves were, I guess, not kind of naturally procedurally generated, just the procedures that were in nature.
Yeah.
A lot of caves kind of look similar for a reason. They have
the same erosion and
right,
shit like that, and whatever caused the cave to be made.
Exactly. They
probably
look
consistent.
They look that way for a reason. So there is an argument to be made of they're kind of supposed to be the same and boring. Whereas something Baldur's Gate 3, I don't think has any procedural generation.
That
it's
would
a very
be
beautifully
hilarious.
crafted game. Right,
Yeah.
that sounds like it would be hilarious if I find out it did, but it seems like everything in that game, like every little detail is very put into place, and the world is very beautiful because of that. So like every single cave has something very uniquely different about it, to where you can know where you are pretty much instantly if you're, remember the game. So where like it makes sense for that aspect, because it's you're in a fantasy world. You want everything to be fantastical. You're not going into caves like 90 different times to where like it's a very important part of the game. So that makes sense. I think procedural generation definitely has a place in video games, but it needs to be done when the iron's hot, when the moment's right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they also, I wouldn't be surprised if Baldur's Gate 3 had, loot tables,
Right. Or even, procedural generation for, foliage or something like that to make bushes a little different every time you see them. Something simple.
Yeah, simple, randomizer.
Clouds.
What's it now? Yeah, wonder what other game... I mean, Minecraft is the big procedural generation
game. All survival crafting games pretty much have that. Procedural generated worlds.
Yeah, so you can boot up a new game and it's not it's the beginning of it isn't exactly the same.
Which brings to mind the game The Forest, because that is a survival crafting game with a lot of the same, you got to manage your hunger, your thirst, you can get your different weapons, you can go and find different things, but it's not procedurally generated. Everything on the map is exactly the same where it's at, and everything has a place.
Do you spawn in the same location every time?
Yes. I think, yeah. In the Forest 1 you do, the Forest 2 you don't.
Because that's if you can memorize it, then it's not you are, and you're gaining some sort of knowledge about the place,
right?
In between games.
Meta knowledge.
So yeah, and you're able to craft your game plan based off of what resources are actually there,
right?
As opposed to having to search for resources and you have a game plan, you'll expect to find coal, you'll expect to find wood, but you don't know where it's going to be.
Exactly.
Probably helps slow down the game a little bit, because if you know exactly where everything is, I assume as soon as you enter into the forest, you're making a beeline for your first resource, right? There's something that you're going to need right away.
I was going to say, yeah, but then there's also the whole thing of actually getting to it. The whole cave system in the game, because it's a survival crafting, you go down into the caves to explore them, and you can know exactly where something is. Figuring it out and also getting there is another story, because you have to get through, a mountain of enemies, there's boss enemies, there's different, it's very dark, so you only have a little, lighter unless you go and try to find a light source where you have to go and craft one. So even though it's, you can just, kind of play the way you want to, you still have to do that thing of, the feedback loops of we need to do this, we need to make this before we can get this, and it just feels like a very survival crafting game through and through, even though nothing's procedurally generated, and it's technically the same every time. Every time you have a playthrough, you have to do things different, because you're we found this cave, right away found the katana or the thing, so now we don't need to go, we don't need to make light sources, we don't need to do these other things, we can just skip ahead and do these other, so it's, who knows. It's not like you're going to be able to memorize the entire cave system. You can look up a map and do your best to follow along, but it's huge.
Yeah, but I guess this also ends up going into speed running, where procedural generation, there was that's how you end up with shit like Dream cheating at his Minecraft speed run.
Right.
He had a mod enabled that increased the chances of a certain thing from happening, and then he took I think it was the world record. Maybe it was just up there, but close. But I think it was a world record.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So when you're speedrunning a game that has a lot of procedural generation and rolls for stuff like that, luck is a big part of it. So you basically got to be playing on your A game, restarting constantly to roll for the chance to
be able to have a good game, a world record. Yeah,
and that just takes up a lot of time. So people choose to set some certain things, change some things in the code to make it so that they're more consistent in doing the same thing. But when you have something that is actually baked in, Mirror's Edge speed runs, they aren't re-rolling, they aren't restarting the run on luck. I mean, maybe if they mess something up, they might restart the run, but
but everything there, it's the game is the way it is. There's a set path to go. It's not going to be different every time. Same with Portal and things like that. Other games.
Yeah, so I think the procedural generation, it gives a flavor. You have your XYZ things, and
definitely it gives it I would say it gives it a little less of a story, because like you're saying, it makes you have more of a plan of like what to do in the game as opposed to how you're going to be able to play the game. So we're like in the forest, you can kind of choose how you want that story to play out, whereas something like Minecraft, you just kind of have to roll with the punches and make sure you can, do the best way you can to make your story play out with what you got.
And there's this like emergent gameplay, emergent storytelling, stuff like that. Like it ends up being something that you sort of make up, fill in with your own imagination. Or like, you stumble into a super high level area and then all of a sudden you're in like big trouble, but you manage to eke by the skin of your teeth or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, like, I just did that. Like, I happened to run into something procedurally generated that I wasn't ready to deal with, and I managed to make it out alive. And that is, something worth remembering. Something cool about the game. Which I guess you could do in a regular game, too, if you're going in blind, but,
Yeah, I was going to say, even non-procedural generation, the first time you're playing it might as well be, because you certainly don't know. It's only once you get that meta-knowledge that it actually becomes a thing.
Yeah, I guess it also feels a little bit different when you run into an issue like that, because it's like, someone might complain that the game's, like, unbalanced if, like, a particular hurdle is, like, this challenging to get over, but if it's procedurally generated, it's more like, okay, maybe I rolled bad, Like,
right.
it's not really...
Not my fault.
Yeah. I didn't fuck it up. It just sort of happened.
Right.
Like when I was in Pokerogue, and I swear to God, I think if you skip, like, battles with wild Pokemon, because you can run away, I'm pretty sure that's why I fought that guy with a Rayquaza. Because, like...
A random guy just had a Rayquaza?
It was just this dude that I've never seen before. He was a complete, like, OC character, I believe. And he just showed up, and he had a Rayquaza, and he had all these, like, a rather really strong Pokemon. I was like, holy shit.
What?
And,
it's like a mysterious stranger in Pokemon?
I don't know. I mean, it's just some dude. But, yeah, he kicked my ass. So, I was punished.
Take that. That's what you get for running away.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, I don't need the experience. Like, I'm kicking these guys' ass, sort of. And then one of them has just had, like, a bad type matchup. I'm like, I just don't need to do this. And it's like, psych. You thought.
You thought. The amount of times I see, like, videos on the internet and hear stories from people of, like, car accidents specifically, but it happens in other ways too. People, like, just bumping into things and falling down stairs and whatnot. Of just, like, people who are trying to, rush to get somewhere and trying to, get things done quicker, and they eventually just end up fucking up their lives and their whole situation even worse, like cutting someone off, cutting around someone, just not looking while they're running and things like that. It's not worth it. If I'm ever late to anything, just know that I am a better person because of it.
Yeah.
I have,
of course.
I have become better because I am late. There would have been an option where I could have cut somebody off or done something to maybe like decrease the time. It wasn't worth it.
Well, the main thing about that is that it doesn't save you that much time being an asshole on the road.
Yeah,
like,
no,
if you're driving for like an hour, you could be an asshole on the road and cut that down by like 5 minutes max.
Right. Most people driving to work, though, have like a 20, 30-minute commute, so it's like they're looking to shave whatever they can off.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, sir. I was being a good driver, and it seems like you're trying to punish me for that.
Right. Sorry I was being a good person. There was a garbage truck that got like stuck behind. You think I was going to just peel around it?
So are you, how's work going? You getting any trouble recently?
No, I'm fine. I haven't showed up late to work yet. I don't think I can show up late because I don't have like a set start time. My work's real floaty with it. Not real nice.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit like that where it's like you get your hours in.
Right.
Like that's the only thing that matters. So think of it that way, boss. I can't even be late, really, when you think about it.
Really, you're wrong for even starting this conversation. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I remember they did something like that in Mythbusters where they were like, okay, we're going to put like everyone down like this highway in California or wherever they record it. And everyone's going to drive like in one of the 4 lanes, and we're going to have a 5th person who is driving like trying to get ahead instead of sticking to a single lane. And he barely got any time off of everything else. That's why I drive for distance in between me and other vehicles. Instead of focusing too much on the speed, because like if everybody's speeding, like of course I'm not going to be going slower than that.
Right.
But I just focus on keeping my distance from the cars in front of me,
Yeah.
cars behind me. Sometimes there's like packs of people, like, packs of cars that just sort of naturally clump together. And I'll try to, stay in between them or, be a little bit ahead of one or a little bit behind one.
Mm.
I feel like that's just the safest way to do it. And that's also apparently how they do it in the Autobahn in Germany, where it's like that's the whole thing. They don't have a speed limit. They have these little ticks on the highway, and you got to maintain a certain number of ticks away from somebody.
Makes sense. Safety. Something that pisses me off to absolutely no end. If I miss a phone call, for the love of God, just text me. If I just have a missed call and nothing else, like I don't even want to call you back. You don't deserve a call back. What the fuck are you doing? What is whatever was important just not important anymore? Like I was important enough for you to call me in that moment, but not important enough to let me know what the fuck was actually going on. You were just like, well, you missed it. Sorry, bud. Go to hell.
I agree. I feel like normally when I choose to call someone is because like I can just hash this out in like 2 minutes. Texting this would actually be just taking like longer to do this thing than a phone call. But when the phone call fails, it's like, well, the next best thing is to just send the text. And be like, this is what the phone call's about, at least. Just be like, hey, call me back because of XYZ, or like, hey, I was reaching out because of XYZ.
You don't get that. If I've already sent the text, you don't get to call me back. I'm responding with the text, not responding to that text with a call. You're out of your mind.
Well, I think, some things really deserve a phone call. Some things need to be talked out over phone. So
I will disagree with that till the day I die. Whatever those things are, you can discuss them in person.
I get that's harder.
Oh, so all of a sudden you had to reprioritize these things then, don't you? All of a sudden it's a little bit harder. So maybe this thing isn't so important.
If something's important and can be handled with a phone call, do it with a phone call. If it's able to be handled with a text, but you want it to be a bit more quick than that, then you take a phone call, and then if you can't do that, you send a text, yada, yada, yada. If it's really important and needs to be on the phone, like, you're not going to get a text grandma died. Maybe you'd actually want to be on the phone for that,
I'd actually prefer someone to come tell me that in person.
Fair enough, but, like...
That's, again, perfect example.
If I'm not, like, right next to my family, like, anyone in my family is, like, probably an hour away, and they need to get this information to me, I think a phone call is fine.
Anything that can be handled in a phone call can be handled in text. I will admit that it has the potential to be a little bit slower and less effective, but at the same time, it also has the potential to not.
So I don't know why you don't like phone calls, man. I love phone calls.
Listen, phone calls can suck my dick with a 10-foot pole. I hate them. I will never not like a phone call.
I like phone calls. I hate listening to my answering machine.
You have an answering machine? Or a voicemail?
Get the voicemail.
I thought you had a literal answering machine.
No,
like,
it's just this thing that functions the same exact way as my voicemail.
Right, yeah, got you.
That's just what I grew up saying. But, yeah. I don't like having to listen to the fucking thing. Like, if you can't reach me, hang up, send the text of what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Unless you're
also agree.
Some, I don't know, random person trying to contact me about XYZ listing or insurance payment or whatever.
Save you the step. Don't even call. Just send the text. Just send the text. Because listen, it might be faster, it might not be, but really how important is your thing? Unless you're literally like about to die and you need me right now, send the text. It's all you need. Don't call me. Please.
Please call me. Woo woo. Also, like, just having a conversation with someone is so much better over phone than it is text.
I mean, see, here's the thing. I hate phone calls, but talking over the internet on Discord, that's fine. I like that. So I don't really know what it is. I don't know what it is specifically about phone calls that it drives up the wall. Like, I can't stand still. I'll just feel like my skin is crawling off. I just want to throw my phone and scream. I hate it. I hate phone calls.
I prefer it to, like, text conversations, because text is sort of on-off, Like,
yes,
you're
exactly.
waiting for... Like, you don't know if the message was received or, like, you know, they're probably busy with something else, too, and not paying full attention to their phone.
Cool.
And so, like, it's not a way to do business.
No, way to do business is in person, face-to-face.
Or a phone call.
Fuck a phone call.
It does all the things face-to-face except for being able to see each other.
And that's just
What
weird.
do you think about a Zoom call? They do business on Zoom.
Yeah, maybe. I prefer Discord.
That is a company Discord.
We probably will have a company Discord, but I mean, it's at that point it's just a program. Like, why do we got to submit to Microsoft? I think Discord's video calling would work just fine. So I could do with that if we need to do some company calls later in our lives.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna start calling you more now. Actually,
I will not respond then. I'm just
That's
gonna.
fine.
The same way I try to just talk your phone off the ledge, I'm going to start just not responding to you and try to do the same to you. Just be like, listen, you're better than this. You don't need to keep doing this. You don't need to go down this road. Please. I hate it. I hate phone calls. I don't know why, but they just, as soon as I get a phone call, my heart races. I hate it. I just want to throw my phone away.
I also,
None of it.
When I use my phone to make a call for something, the last thing I want is a robot on the other end.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because, like, if I'm on the phone, I already went through everything else.
Yeah. We talked about this in an episode. But yeah, I don't
Call
mind.
back, real trash heads.
I don't mind when it's the menu, though. If I just got to press buttons, that's fine. But if I got to talk to them, yeah, no. Get out of there.
Yeah, at least I got the cool dial tone reading thing to navigate the menu. These are some cool technology. But yeah, I still am frustrated when I have to talk to a robot on the phone. That will never go away.
Yeah, I don't think the robots on the phone will ever go away either. So your frustration will be forever and ever.
So I can get a little bit behind the anti-phone thing for that reason alone.
That's the other thing. 99.99% of all my phone calls are scam likely. So why are you trying to use this dead medium? You basically might send me a telegraph. Fuck a phone call. Send me a telegraph, friend. I'll have the ticker running. You can just send me a telegraph and it'll brrr live. Send me a message. I'll get a pager. You can send me one on that. That's live. It beeps. It buzzes.
Yeah, I don't like.
Fuck a phone call. This medium's dead.
I feel like all sorts of like ways to communicate are susceptible to like spam, which is really frustrating. You get like so much time with so many protections against spam, and then they just like stop caring.
I don't get nearly as many spam texts as I do spam calls.
I get spam texts all the time, but that's more of like an iPhone thing, I feel, because it's like they're reaching me via email, Apple ID, and they're like, "Oh, USPS, your package is held up at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Click this link." So I gotta report them.
I have my phone number linked with my Google email. I don't get stuff like that.
I
think the last one I got was
can they send you a text from a Google email? Maybe? Because I get iMessage. This has this shit.
Yeah, I don't know then. Probably not.
But yeah, so much spam though. Like mail, full of spam and like promotions and bullshit.
Yeah.
Email, like every couple of years, I just make a new email account because it's just so long before one gets completely overtaken by spam.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it's like impossible to stop. Twitter, Instagram. I also get spam messages. Luckily, they actually do filter them out for the most part and put them in like, you know, other messages, like message requests, shit like that. But I'll go into there and I'll find these messages and I'll report them every single time. I'm like, there needs to be some type of like safety of our communications to like not be completely ruined by spam. You would
think there needs to be, and you'd think people would push back real hard on it, but it's just coming. Like we were saying about the advertisers last episode, it's part of the reason. It's like a lot of the people putting out the spam are probably the same people like paying the money because they're the people that just want to advertise random shit. Although specific like USPS scam callers, I don't know about that. That's like the Indian call center stuff.
I mean, I've been getting a lot of them. I knew about them for a while before. I've been getting them. They're just. It's just one way that people try to, fake being some sort of like representative from like a state
from Microsoft
thing or something like that. Yeah.
Facts.
Did I tell you about the I fell for a fake phishing email, like a company phishing email?
How much they get you for?
No, it was like from the company. It was a phishing test.
Okay. Yeah.
And
got then. That sucks.
Well, it wasn't exactly like. So I like saw it, and it was like new information about the dress code. I'm like, we don't have a fucking dress code, do we? I don't think so. Not reading it. And then I saw a message in Teams from a coworker of mine, like, hey guys, watch out for that like dress code email, saying that it's probably spam. But I didn't register that. I was thinking, oh shit, dress code's real. Outlook, click, find the email, view dress code.
Oh no!
You just got phished by the phishing test from the company.
Get got, loser, lame brain.
Yeah, so I had to. They recommend that I do internet safety training, and I'm like, man, I'm fine. Like, this wasn't even like an internet issue. This was like a me misunderstanding my coworker issue.
So you're just saying it might get marked as spam correctly, but it's,
Yeah, well, I mean, I shouldn't have clicked on it, but oh well.
I have an interesting mission for us that might combine our talents. So you have worked at Taco Bell in the past. You have intimate knowledge of their kitchen and their processes and the ingredients required.
Let's rob him.
I have a gun. With these two combined. No, if we go and buy all of the ingredients, I know it's probably been done before with like, oh, we're going to make Taco Bell at home kitchen, but we could potentially make a Taco Bell for others. If we invite like people over and just like, all right, so we're gonna have Taco Bell for dinner tonight. What's your order? And then we just make it for them.
So one, they do sell beef seasoning for Taco Bell at like Jewel and Chip.
Okay.
Two, it's not easy. Like you have like a long line with a bunch of ingredients ready.
Oh yeah.
So we would need a limited menu. And
sure, we just do like a Crunchwrap Supreme, cheesy gordita crunch, then just regular tacos.
Well, the Crunchwrap, you should have a grill press or like a panini press.
I assume, you're gonna need at least a grill press. You're gonna need at least maybe a flat top. I don't even think so. Would you?
No. So what they got is like there's this big flat top that's at the very first part. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to throw tortillas on to make them warm.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
And then they go down the line, and then you get all your like fillings and stuff like that. And then there's a steamer, there's a panini press, and that's it. The grill thing has two levers for two simultaneous grills. And for chalupa, you would need a fryer and a mold for the shell.
Yeah, we probably... so chalupa's off the menu. That'll be a little too much. We just have the cheesy gordita crunch, because that's just hard shell, soft shell with, a little bit of melted cheese in their whatever gordita sauce. Mm-hmm. So that'd be... Actually, it's not even a soft shell in the gordita crunch. It's like a pita, isn't it?
It's a flatbread.
Yeah, so it's a flatbread
pita. Flatbread with... they put cheese on the inside of it and melt that in the steamer and put that around
this is the
taco.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I got the knowledge. They put cheese in it. They put it on the taco, and it's just sort of like a regular taco with... I think it's sort of like a taco supreme, but instead of sour cream, they use their Baja sauce, which then they replaced with their spicy ranch.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that.
It's just the same thing. They just call it a different thing. I didn't know the Baja sauce was just spicy ranch, but here we are.
That's pretty sweet. See, this is exactly what we need. We need the ins and outs on how to make this. So we can make the cheesy gordita crunch. We can make a Crunchwrap Supreme. We can make, just the simple tacos, soft, hard shell. People want that. Want to be boring. If we have the stuff for the Crunchwrap Supreme, we can make Mexican pizza. Because just the inner tortillas. Mm-hmm. We got a good menu.
Selling tostadas.
What is that?
Just the piece in the middle, in the Crunchwrap. The circular.
Oh, yeah, it's just that's what a Mexican pizza is, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's called a tostada. The actual, tortilla thing. Just the thing.
Yeah,
tostada.
Yeah.
And if you just put stuff on top of that, unlike the Mexican pizza, which is a particular, thing of beans, cheese, and Mexican pizza sauce, if you just put anything on top of it, boom, it's a tostada. I've had it with, chicken. just lettuce, tomato, stuff like that. Don't actually order it from Taco Bell very often, because if I'm getting a tostada, like that's like pretty basic ingredient wise, and I go to a place that has better ingredients.
Right.
And Taco Bell's for the grilled cheese burrito.
Here.
Where you wrap it and you grill the actual cheese to the outside.
Yeah. Get that nice, like every time it kind of sticks to the peel a little bit, but you got to peel it off. And you unroll it. Oh, the double steak grilled cheese burrito is the good shit.
That is good shit.
So much cheese and sour cream. Oh, it is a nightmare afterwards, but it is worth it. Absolutely worth
Once
it.
a month at most.
Yeah, no. We can be the Bell, though. With our knowledges combined, we can be the Bell. All we need is, the panini press and a stove. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
We could do it.
You can get an assembly line, hot line, cold line. We don't need to get other meats or anything. If we just want to stick with the ground beef.
Man, we can do ground beef and maybe chicken. I don't know. I think ground beef would be good because it's gonna be better quality ground beef, so it'll be good ground beef. That'll be enough.
Well, what the fuck are we doing any of this for then? You need to get the right ground beef.
Yeah, we need to get the lowest quality. We need to go to like some shitty corner store and find something just labeled beef, with like a marker written on it.
Yeah, they made the spice mix specifically for that type of beef. It's gonna be all wrong. It's like making a Wagyu burger.
Ew. Like grinding a Wagyu steak up to make a burger?
Yeah.
That's rough.
They make those.
Why? That's the whole point of Wagyu steak, is it's supposed to be like so soft and tender and everything. If you're grinding the meat, then it's just
I know. Well, because it's more expensive.
Okay.
That's the reason. Is you say it's a more expensive meat, and
it's like the fucking gold tomahawk steaks. You seen those?
Yeah, with the gold leaf on it.
Yeah, just stupid.
Kind of one of the worst things to put gold leaf on, in my opinion. Like, I'm more for like, and I'm not even really into like the idea of eating gold that much, but like gold leaf on a chicken wing would make more sense because it's like fucking small, and like it's this nice little pristine thing.
Right. Sure.
Gold leaf on ice cream.
Yeah, a little top on.
Makes sense. They got Goldschlager.
Yeah, I was gonna say the liquor.
They got there's that whole like thing where people are like, oh, you could like get the gold out of the bottle and then it's like enough to buy another bottle, and it's like, no, it's not. Are you gonna do pawn like 0.0001 gram of gold?
Yeah, how are you gonna sieve it out? You're gonna put a sieve at the top and then make sure you just have a fucking Goldschlager
coffee
bottle
filter, I guess.
Yeah. And you just get a bottle full of Flex. You take that to the pawn shop, like, hey, give you $25. Goldschlager's on sale.
And they say, no, this isn't like untradeable amount of gold.
I was gonna say, you gotta buy like 20 bottles of Goldschlager. You're ridiculous.
Yeah, buy 20 get one free.
It's a good marketing strategy.
Very involved.
That's
process.
a good marketing strategy. They should sell that. They should start. Oh, that brings me a great idea. I didn't even make a note about this. I wanted to write it down though. I don't know if I brought this to you before. We should just do really good ads for companies. But like without any like contract work, without getting paid by them, just do like a really good, like an ad that goes viral, like really great, either whatever, it's really funny or really well cinematically shot. However we get that to go. If we just make an ad for, like Monster Energy, it doesn't have a whole lot of ad presence, or like I don't know, like the Scarlet Duo type thing. We just make a sick ad for it to where people latch onto it. What are they going to do?
Not pay us?
Exactly.
Probably.
They're not going to pay us, but they're not going to be like, hey, stop that, put that ad down, stop using our name. They're going to be like, whoa, well, okay, whatever. And then we got a little bit of it in. Then we could maybe contact and be like, hey, we could do another ad, or maybe we contact other companies and be like, hey, we did this ad for the Scarlet. We don't tell the other companies that we didn't get paid by the people from Scarlet, but they don't go and ask the people at Scarlet. We just build a reputation off of lies and nonsense. But it looks good because we actually do make good quality ads. That's got to be at the heart of it.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, you make. I wouldn't show it to the company that has the actual.
No. We just make post it on YouTube, like put it on Twitter or whatever, and we just maybe tag like a bunch of things like that the company would tag, but that's not the company thing, like #brave, #independence, and stuff like that.
Well, all we'd have to do would be like fan edit or something, and then we wouldn't get in trouble.
Nah, because we can maybe put in like a small text or something like that. But no, I just, you know, put it out there and then like, you know, maybe on like a burner account, and then we repost it on a separate account and just be like, oh, is this a real ad? And then we delete the first post. So like, oh, where'd it come from? And
exactly. Anyone else remember this weird Scarlet ad?
right, yeah, we just launder our trail right there. Bada bing.
Well, then how the fuck are we going to prove it's us?
We'll have the receipts and everything. Like, we'll be the people that made it.
Okay, but to make it go viral, we're
that's
hiding.
like, since Scarlett's not going to be able to track it down and be like, hey, who are these guys that stole? We're just going to be like, well, I don't know, we just post the video. We have no idea. By then, it'll be reposted, so they're not going to be able. The internet will do its cloud.
Good scheme idea. Do work for free.
Do work for free. Eventually, it leads to portfolio. Because how do you build a portfolio of advertising?
That's how you always do a portfolio. Yeah, I guess with ads.
You just do ads.
Well, you
for
do like cinema stuff. I've seen there's a pretty big trend of like people on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, being like, "Hey, can I record an ad for you?" Like going into a business, and they're like, "Yeah," and then they just put together some shots of like
what?
Like, yeah, I mean, it's like local businesses and stuff.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's what I was gonna say. We could do it for like the local mom and pop shops to start the portfolio, or we approach like GeForce with a portfolio of all these other big names that we've worked on, not worked with per se, but worked on.
Exactly.
We just gotta word ourselves very particularly, and it's not gonna be like we're gonna be like a Theranos or Sam Bankman-Fried, where it turns out we were just frauds the whole time, because we are putting in work. We are legitimately doing everything we're saying. We're just, don't have the professional, backing with it.
Yeah, you just gotta trick them, easy peasy.
Yeah. It's not even like tricking. It's just like lying by omission. Yeah, it is tricking, but it's lying by omission. It's not like I feel like fucking Ja Rule in the Firefest. Like, I don't know. It's not fraud. It's more false advertising.
I did not know he said that.
He said that on a call, like, to a room of people who were like I assume their legal team, and it's just like, well, so how are we going to deal with the allegations of fraud? And Ja Rule's like, well, no, it's not fraud. It's more false advertising. And you see like 3 people in the room just. That's what fraud is, Mr. Rule, if you don't know. Sorry to say.
Mr. Rule.
I'm not
Mr. Cent.
I'm not on a first name basis with him, so yeah. I'm not with Mr. Cent either. I'm not. We don't talk like that.
But make sure you don't call him Mr. Dre. Because
no,
he is a doctor.
He's a doctor, yeah. He worked hard for that. He worked hard for that, just like, what is it, Dr. O'Neill. Shaq has a doctorate.
Really?
An honorary one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Still a doctorate.
I'm pretty sure he went to school, like, for a degree, and then he got just, like, the honorary doctorate afterwards. So he did, like, have some legitimate college degree experience, but I remember reading him just like, oh, yeah, he's got the honorary thing.
Well, a lot of people have honorary doctorates. Kanye has an honorary doctorate. Trent Reznor, I think, has an honorary doctorate.
What did Kanye get his for?
Art.
Yeah, all right. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If nothing else, he do be that artist.
There was that one time he did stop at IIT.
Yeah, he wanted to, like, steal an architecture design or something, the students were saying.
Oh, really? I just remember seeing a video of him standing on the tables in the new building. And they're like, I remember, because I was working in events at the time, we had to be super fucking careful with every little piece of furniture in the new building, with the new furniture, with the new floors and everything, make sure nothing gets scratched or anything like that. And Kanye just walks in, standing on the table, like, hey, yo.
He's doing that,
Steve Jobs made the iPhone. Thank you, Kanye.
What's that, Oh, Captain, My Captain movie? I'm probably trying to do some shit like that. Mm-hmm. Where all the students stand up on their desks and fucking, rise up, or I don't fucking know. It's like a trope I've seen in different TV shows, but I've never seen the actual source material of it. But yeah, I remember someone telling me, like, he was just asking about, like, different architectural designs to, like, maybe make a building. He's like, what's new and good? What's looking good?
I mean, I don't think he's gonna memorize anything.
Yeah, no,
like, he'd still need to pay an architect.
Dude, I was gonna say, have you seen that video where he literally just offers to pay, like, someone trying to, like, basically TMZ him like $100,000 to work for him?
No.
He just does it on the street of like, oh, you're trying to get your viral money, you're trying to make your $100,000 video. I'll pay you $100,000. Work for me right now. Put down the phone. And then it's just like someone else is also filming like the other interaction, and she's just like, they kind of go back and forth of like, he seemed really serious about it. Like he's gonna pay her a salary just to like come basically be his personal pest, I guess. But I wouldn't doubt Kanye West showing up to IIT and just be like, I'll give you $100,000, be my architect, make my building.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also Kanye has like a particular disdain for the paparazzi.
Yeah, I mean,
there's videos of him like coming out of his house and like
Hi,
screaming at people
Kanye,
to go away.
Fuck you.
There's him taking out the marker and scribbling over the lens of someone's camera that they had in his face. So
yeah, I mean, fair. If you're gonna be ambushed by paparazzi all day, I mean, it's one of those things like you don't feed into it because that only makes it worse. But
yeah,
especially at a certain point, you can only take so much shit like that. Plus, he doesn't seem to be playing with a full deck of cards, so
yeah.
We'll see how he goes in the future. Godspeed, Kanye.
Yeah, makes me think of the Streisand effect, which I don't exactly remember what it was.
Barbara Streisand had like a picture of her new house that she had bought, and it was like in a TMZ article of like, she didn't want like it to be known that she had bought her new house.
She got it taken down, and then that caused it to proliferate more,
right,
because
it's a
like,
public listing, and people could look it up on Google Earth and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's so people ended up being like it was Google like, why is Barbara Streisand's house, like where is it type deal. It became like a big, all of a sudden thing.
Mm-hmm. What else do we get?
The Big Bomba. Is soda real? Or is it simply a device in which you get flavor into your drink? Is it simply a way to drink flavors?
I mean,
is it not? Is it a thing? Like, what is soda?
Well, I mean, the old like soda shops, they'd have syrup and decarbonated water. So I'd say that.
Right, but it's like
soda.
The syrup mixed with it. Soda isn't a thing. It's just like the way you get the syrup, to drink it, because you're not just going to be sipping syrup. You could call
orange
just
juice real.
I mean, yeah, it's what's in a juice. Like an orange is what, like probably 50% juice, kind of like how watermelons are like 90% water or whatever. Because juice is part of it, but like soda is.
What about from concentrate?
How do you mean?
Orange juice from concentrate.
I think that's artificial, isn't it?
No, it's concentrate. It's they to get the oranges at their freshest point, and then they juice it, freeze it, like make it really juice it, like concentrate it.
Well, it'd still be the juice. I mean, it still existed, so it's still real. It still existed in the orange state and even after the freezing state. But
so I guess the question is like, is soda syrup like a fundamental thing?
Well, I was gonna say
in both cases you're adding it to water, right, to make a drink, which one of them's bubbly.
Right, yeah, that is true. I didn't get the concentrate thing till right now. That is true. You do have to cut it with water. So, but that's, I suppose, a different thing than orange concentrate to orange juice, because that's why you call it that. You have to cut it with water.
Yeah, soda syrup is a concentrate. Most syrups are concentrates or a drizzle, but like...
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Soda is like it's not a thing until you add the syrup concentrate in it. Like just, tonic water is tonic water.
Oh, no, they call it soda water.
It's soda water, but it's not soda.
Well, you say a vodka soda, it's not like they're going to put Pepsi in there. They're going to put sparkling water.
Tonic water, yeah. I don't know, it was an interesting point brought out to me, like, of just soda is like a way to deliver flavors. It's not really a thing. I was just like, that's kind of true, because soda, like, is kind of, if you think, like, a Dr. Pepper, a Pepsi, a 7-Up, a Sprite, like, they're all very different, but they're all just that same, like, tongue tingle. They're all the same, just different ways to get those different flavors, the same way, rather, to get those different flavors in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So soda is kind of like, if there was an equation, you'd be able to cancel soda out from each side, but you'd just be left with the flavors. Because the flavors are different, but the soda properties are the same. So what is soda? If not, I guess it's just the tonic water, but...
I think it is just the tonic water, if you go into the history of it, because, that's what the soda shop would be, is a shop that sells you soda,
and you can put the syrup,
different things in it to make it a Coke or a whatever like that.
Yeah, so I guess real soda is just tonic water.
Well, I don't even think it's tonic water in particular, because tonic water has the additional, I think it was quinine is the thing that makes it tonic water. It has like an extra thing in there. It's supposed to be an anti-malarial thing, but I don't know if they use it for that in tonic water.
Wild. Would it just be, what's sparkling water then? That's just carbonated water?
Just carbonated. I think it's different questions on like how you get the thing to bubble, because there'll be like some like maybe it is tonic water. It's just like full of sugar.
I know tonic water
all bubbly, but you get a LaCroix and it's like
doesn't taste like sugar at all. Yeah, I know tonic water also has UV properties. It's kind of neat. Like if you put a UV light underneath it, it'll like sparkle and glow. All the bubbles in there.
That might be the quinine.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Club soda is soda, and that's a different thing from tonic water.
Really? I thought they were interchangeable.
Different thing from seltzer. No, they're all different things.
What?
It's crazy.
Huh? Yeah, I've always just kind of put them all in the same kind of boat.
Yeah, I remember
tonic water, seltzer water.
You know how there's like a club sandwich?
Yeah.
And you think, oh, it's like, you know,
BLT with some ham or some turkey.
Well, I didn't even know it was all that stuff. I just thought it was like, you know, the club sandwich. Right?
Whatever the special sandwich, the house special or whatever.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I was like looking at like the drinks list at this restaurant, and I was like, club soda. I'll have one of those. It's the club soda. It's gotta be cool. It's gotta be good.
Absolutely tasteless and disgusting, I'll bet.
No, it was not good. Yeah, I was not a fan. So that made me learn that the word club is not necessarily used in that way all the time, and sometimes it's like means another very specific thing, such as, you know, having your sandwich include like turkey, lettuce, bacon, tomato.
I think it's specifically BLT, and then you add an extra meat that makes the club.
If that's the case, that's crazy. I need to do more research. You may have made this epiphany for me, what a club sandwich is, but I'm also pretty sure you got to cut it into thirds and put a little Q-tip in it.
You mean like the toothpick, not the ear swab?
Yeah, toothpick.
Yeah, put a Q-tip through it.
And nice and saucy.
I was gonna question the thirds thing, but now that I think about it, besides like, you know, Subway or like a sub sandwich that I get a club sandwich from, I think I usually, if I get it on bread, it is cut into thirds, because I usually get it from a place called the Patio.
Cut into two triangles.
What do you mean?
The sandwich.
It's cut into thirds, like
real,
3 triangles.
Real thirds?
Yeah, real third. Like, you've not seen a sandwich cut into thirds? The place the Patio does it. What you call it? Or maybe they cut it into. It might be quarters. Now that I'm thinking of that,
maybe
it's the small triangles.
2 quarters and a half.
No, I think it's just an X cut. I thought they did a Y cut, but I think it's an X cut. So yeah, they quarter it.
The thing is, the Y cut is what was. I was getting real upset about. I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna cut a sandwich that way? How is that the normal?
Because you said cut it into thirds, and I was like, oh yeah, that seems right.
I might have said that wrong, yeah.
Right, so I was like, that seems right if I'm remembering the sandwich.
Like, wait a second.
Right, then I said it back to myself too. I was like, I don't remember that actually now, because I haven't had the Patio in a long, long time, but thinking about that sandwich, because they always serve it with a pickle too, pickle spear with a sandwich. Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Ooh yeah.
I'm a big fan of the pickle.
Hell yeah, me too. I'll eat a pickle whole.
Have I told the story on here about the eat an entire hot dog in one day thing?
No.
It was just a thing on Facebook, like eat an entire hot dog in one day, and so like...
Yeah, I remember I was a part of it.
Yeah, we went and did it. And I was the only idiot to include a full pickle spear on my dog.
I don't remember that, but nice.
Yeah, so I was like... We all put our hot dogs in our mouth, and I immediately start choking. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the idiot...
to die on a hot dog day.
Well, I would rather die than live being the guy that vomited up a whole hot dog and pickle in the fucking cafeteria at the school my freshman year.
I would rather die.
Like, I was holding it in. I was, like, pretending not to be choking and, like, using my tongue to very ever so slightly maneuver that pickle out of my throat, sideways into my mouth, so I could crunch down on it and save myself. I was crying. There was water coming out of my eyes.
You should have just spit it out, man.
Nah, I didn't want to. I also sort of felt like it was like tickling the uvula, so like if I tried to open my mouth, I might vomit.
Oh god!
Like, it just was gonna be the most embarrassing thing ever. I was really afraid of it.
I remember that day. It's one of the reasons I completely just deleted all my social medias because someone took a video of me and tagged me in it on Facebook, I think, and I forget what I think it was. I think I was just shooting double birds at the camera because someone started filming, and I was like, "Oh yeah, well fuck you." And then one of my aunts commented on the video like, "What is this? Why are you doing this? I'm so like this is untoward." And I was just like, "All right." No more social media for me. You're not tagging me in shit so my whole family can see it. I'm just gonna do my stupid shit in college alone.
Honestly, good enough reason.
It was like the perfect time too. When social media first got introduced, I was super skeptical of it. I didn't really use it a whole lot, and then as soon as like stuff like that started happening, I'm like, yeah, this is not the play to have this on. I'm gonna watch everybody else have their downfalls as they post their cool nights to social media and get in trouble.
Yeah. Well. At least you were there for long enough to hear about and join in the entire hot dog and one bite day.
That was indeed. Event. That was a Facebook event.
Just like paint the entire bean black in Chicago, and the competing event the next day, use Windex to clean off the bean. Use Windex Chicago, to clean off the next day is paint the bean black again.
I love that Facebook event memes.
It was a good, and that's where Rating Area 52 came from in my my memory. Yeah, like, of course people like joke about it, but like
51 by the way.
Yeah, but that's sort of like the situation where you make the joke and like random people can just say yes to it, and then you get up to the date and you're like, are we actually doing this? I think they just did a barbecue or something.
Yeah, they just hung out there and just had a good time.
Yeah, like very far from actual Area 51.
Yeah, they got as close as they probably were allowed to without being like military supervised, because they were like, we're not even going to let you get this close. Go away. Stay over there where the tourists are. Well, that'll about do it for this episode of Cold Hard Trash. Thank you for tuning in for us. Be sure to tune in next time. We have new episodes every single Tuesday, dropping at 7:01 a.m. because I can pick the time to drop them, and why not? 7:01 a.m. on the dot. Don't be late.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Later.